Welcome back to Too Many Projects Garage. My name's Josh, and today we're going to be working on this Smart to see if we can determine what the issue is with it and possibly repair it. Here we have it, a Smart 4.2 Passion convertible. And the cool thing about the Passion is it's got the fancier wheels, and it has a nicer interior, which is cool. It's got the leather seats, and it's got a cluster, a couple gauge pods here with the RPM gauge and a clock, which the green one that I had on the channel, which was the base model, definitely did not have. Now, the issue that we're having with this car is there is an exhaust leak, and it's very loud and annoying, and it leaks a profuse amount of oil. He did mention to me that the drain plug was leaking oil, so we definitely want to take a look at that and see if it's just something that's loose or it needs tightened or whatever. So let's take a look at it and see what's going on. Let's go ahead and start it up, and you can hear the exhaust leak too. Yeah. Definitely something's wrong with the exhaust, for sure. It should not be that loud. So we're going to take a look at that as well. Now, as you know, with the Smart, it's kind of a pain to get to the engine compartment because it's under the back here. Let's go ahead and pop this open. And this actually goes up like this, and it's held in place to get it out of the way. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a hatch like the green one, so what we got to do now that we have a little bit more room, we can pop this carpet up here. And then we should be able to take that little screw out there and look inside. So let's go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of room for activities without taking the whole rear bumper off, which is unfortunately a pain in the butt, but that may be something we have to do. So, yeah. All right, so it looks like in order to see the muffler and all what I need to do, I'm going to have to take this rear bumper off, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, the dog's going to attack. And I did find out where the oil leak was coming from. It's definitely coming from the oil drain plug, which is a very common issue with these cars. So a problem with these 2008-ish Smart cars, unfortunately, the oil pickup screen is integrated with the oil drain plug. And the oil drain plug is only 5 threads deep. And the hole itself is 10. But unfortunately, it seems like everybody strips these oil pans out. And so you're left with like less threads than you need, and you can't tighten the bolt down. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a solution. We're going to find another oil drain plug. Unfortunately, it's not going to have the screen, but this car is very low miles, so I'm not worried about stuff getting in the oil or anything like that or through that screen. So what we're going to do is put a deeper plug from a Dodge, and I'll show you that here a little while when I get it. And that should solve the issue and take care of the problem without having to change the entire oil pan out, which is a huge issue to do. So we're not going to do that. We're going to take the easy way out. Probably shouldn't do it, but you know, this is something that we can afford and we can do, and it gets it back on the road without it leaking everywhere. So we're going to do that. All right, guys, we've already removed this panel here, and we're working on removing all the screws from the bumper panel. And once we get those removed, then we can unclip the sides, and then it should just come right off. So not too hard, it's just a little unwieldy. That's why I have Natasha here with me to help. So yay. All right, we've got the back bumper off, and look what we found. It's just entirely missing the bolts. And you can tell they replaced the flex pipe before. So yeah, that's our issue. So we just got to get a bolt in there and tighten her down, and fingers crossed, that's the solution. We got some bolts in there. We're gonna see how it sounds after replacing those bolts here. She's about to start it up. Should be a lot better. Oh man, 1,000 times quieter. Very good. No, though we do see some issues with these welds, we're probably gonna, you know, do a couple welds just to make sure, because whoever welded this last, not good. I got Natasha on the welder. She's a better welder than me, so we're gonna get in there and try to weld up that gap and try to make that look less absolutely tragic. Welder was acting up a little bit, so we booger welded it as best we could. It is better than it was quite a bit. I'm not going to get close-up shots of it because we're not super proud of it. But it is definitely serviceable and it doesn't leak. We checked. So all we got to do is put the back on there and bada bing, she'll be all completed, and then we'll swap out that drain plug when that shows up. Putting in the last 2 screws right now, there and there. And we do have to replace this light here because it is busted, so we left it unhooked for now, and then we can go get a new light bulb. We also fixed this little clip over here that was loose, so now that's all clipped in on the side skirt, so you can't even tell. So very nice. Everything's looking really good. All right, guys, we're actually starting on the valve cover gasket. Turns out it wasn't just the drain pan that was leaking, it was a valve cover gasket. This car has about a little over 100,000 miles on it, and it's a pretty old car at this point, so valve cover gasket is no longer. I bought a couple here. I bought the valve cover gasket, which is in there, and then of course the 3 little spark plug tube gaskets as well. And it is hot. It's like over 91 degrees, and I am boiling. So we're starting. I had to pick up some new extensions because I didn't have enough 1/4 inch extensions, so we got a couple of those. And then I had to buy these. So I don't really work on smarts all that much, or more European vehicles. So I've got these so we can do some, taking out. I think I needed this style here, the reverse Torx. So, because we got to remove something off the bottom of the engine that requires that. So, but yeah, we're gonna get started. It requires a lot to take out, but I think first thing we're starting on is what, the coils?
Yeah, I'm doing coils.
Get the coils out of the way, and then we got to move the air box out of the way. Apparently it's in the way, so there's a bunch of stuff we got to remove. It's not even worth talking about. There's so much of it. But if you are interested in how this is coming along or how we're doing this, just check out on YouTube another creator who has taken off a valve cover off one of these. So, woo. All right, after about a couple hours of toiling away on this, we were able to get the valve cover out, and as you can see, very oily around the bottom. Like it's kind of wicked up. You can tell it just wicked up on there. Like you can see the top looks somewhat okay, but the bottom, oh yeah, you can even tell right here. Look right there specifically. Pretty bad. So we're gonna go ahead and peel this off, and then we're going to use some RTV, because it doesn't have a channel like the Hondas do. It just kind of sits on there. And so you got to glue on the actual valve cover gasket. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And then we got to get the new spark plug tube seals from down in there off and throw those on, the new ones. So we're gonna go ahead and do all this in reverse order. It was a little bit of a process. We had to take this out. We had to take that out. That was kind of a pain in the butt to get off because we had to take the lower control arm cinder member off to get room to get these bolts off. So it's a process, but time to do it all in reverse order. Woo! All right, we've got the new gasket put on. You have to use like gray RTV or black RTV to stick it on there just enough because it doesn't have any weight for it to stay on there otherwise. And then we're gonna go ahead and bolt it back on. We're just finishing this up. Got the last hose to be put on. It goes on like this. And then this goes here. And we're done. Look at that. It's completed. Beautiful. Now we can put the cover back on and shut everything up, and it'll be completed and dirty. And just like that, another project well done with the smart car. Got the exhaust bolts all ready to go, and fixed a weld or two, as well as fixed a light that was broken, and fixed the valve cover gasket. Oh, and the drain plug. So we did pretty good, I think. So we'll see you guys next time on Too Many Projects Garage. We're getting gas in the Civic, and the Smart's doing really nice. So I think he's going to be very happy with all the repairs we did.